Well, hey friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about assigned reading or independent reading and how we handle that in our homeschool. And then I will show you some of our favorite series for elementary age kids. If you're new here to my channel, my name is Julie. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm a homeschooling mom of 5. And yes, we do put an emphasis on independent reading time in our house. So what I do is on the shelf behind me, you can't really see it, but up on that shelf, I have a row of like 10 or 12 books for the kids to choose from for their independent reading time. My kids will read, usually it's about this time of the afternoon. That's why I'm filming. My house is quiet. My kids are all reading right now. So they have a quiet time in the afternoon, and along with their quiet time, they're reading a book for a half hour, and they can choose what book they read, but I am giving them some options. So on that shelf, like I said, I have a few books that are all lined up that they can pick from. And once the kids have read through all those, I will get a different stack of books and I will replace them with the new books. So am I giving them the exact title that they have to read on that exact day? No, but I am giving them choices, good quality living books, not comic books, and some of those like silly, some of the books that they might choose if they were given the option. I want to give them some more wholesome reading material that is for their required reading time. So like I said, they read for about a half hour, and then they will each come down and give me an oral narration of what they have read that day, which is great practice. It's good for them to, for one, you can see that they are understanding what they read, like it's actually making sense to them. They're comprehending what they read. And it also is good practice for them to go from reading it to then verbalize it and relay what they read about. So we do practice a lot of oral narration. Sometimes we do book reports like with the older kids, so not really elementary level, but I guess as they're getting to the higher elementary level, I sometimes implement book reports that they can either write down or type out. It kind of depends on what's currently going on, and if I think that the writing that they already have as part of their school day is adequate. Like right now, I feel like we're pretty heavily like writing and language arts. I feel like we're doing a lot of writing, so this year I've really just been focusing on oral narration for now. That's what we've been doing. But I'm gonna go on and show you some of our favorite series for this independent reading time for the elementary level, like from grade 1 to grade 7 or so. These books are, I'm definitely not showing you an exhaustive list, and there are so many more options that we even have on our bookshelves that I'm not showing you today. But these are all series where there are multiple books, and so the kids can, you know, read it for a good portion of the year because there are many books in the series. I'm going to go ahead and start with one that is quite popular that I'm sure you have heard of before. I'm just going to move this camera back a little bit because I feel like then you'll be able to see the books a little bit better. So one series that we love, this is definitely like young kids can read it. Even if your child is a fairly good reader at like the grade 1 level, they might be able to read these books. So this is the Who Was series. We probably have about 30 of them up on our bookshelf, and so I just brought down a few to show you. I'll show you which ones I have here. There are Who Was, there's What Is, Where Is for different locations or people, lots of pictures, but it is an educational nonfiction title. You can see the words are quite big on the page, and my kids have loved these books, and they have learned so much from them. Like randomly they'll be like, I know that fact because I read about it in like Who Was Steve Irwin. My kids have read, and they've mentioned it to me recently. Oh yeah, did you know that Steve Irwin did this? I remember that from this book. Another series that I would say is probably close to the reading level of those ones are these books, I Survived. And these are all about historical occasions, events that have happened in the past, and about someone's story of surviving that. So I survived the bombing of Pearl Harbor. There are no, oh, someone had a bookmark in there. Oops, stick that back in. No pictures in these ones, but the reading level I would say is fairly similar. So here again, we have probably 10 of these books. There are more that we don't own, but that's the one I already showed you. I survived the Nazi invasion. Oh, I just remembered. I survived the Joplin tornado. I'm gonna have to put these books back on the bookshelf as they were, because my kids like to organize them. Like they each have a date, so they like to organize them by like in a timeline series. So I'll have to make sure I put these books back on the bookshelf as they were. Somebody will notice. Some other books that I really enjoy, and these ones are actually leveled books. These are the Pathway Readers. They are books about an Amish or Mennonite family, their kids, and they live on a farm, and all about their adventures. And I love how they are leveled. So we have the grade 1 books, we have the grade 2, we have the grade 3. Do we have grade 4? Maybe we have grade 4 too, but they also sell grades 5 and 6, and I've never bought those ones. I probably could, but I feel like this grade 1 level is when it's hard to find good books that aren't just like easy readers, like just easy chapter books that your younger one can read, that feel like a big kid book like this. It seems like a chapter book, not an easy reader. And then as the kids get older, there's just so many books to choose from. I haven't felt like we need the Pathway Readers as much, but for grade 1 and 2 and 3 specifically, I love these. So pictures, and like I said, there's different levels. So this is a grade 1. And then this one here, I grabbed a grade 2. They're hardcover too, good quality. As they get up to higher levels, the words get a little bit smaller. But my kids, even when they're past grade 3, they're sometimes still picking up the grade 3 books and reading them. Because even my 5th grader is upstairs right now. The reading book that he's currently doing is I don't remember if it's grade 3 or 4, but he's reading one of these books because he still enjoys those. Another series of books that we really like, and again, they are educational, they're nonfiction about some real people who made history. And so this one here is called 10 Girls Who Made History. This is just one of the series. And this one in particular is about Florence Nightingale, Henrietta Mears, Mary Jane Kinnaird, Elizabeth Elliot, Emma Dyer. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh yeah, 10. Haha. 10 girls. There's 10 women this book is about. And then there's this one, 10 boys who use their talent. So I think we have 3 or 4 of the girls' books and 3 or 4 of the boys' books. This one includes C.S. Lewis, C.T. Studd, George Washington Carver, John Bunyan, Samuel Morse. So these are really, really good. I definitely recommend those. Another series that I would say my girls especially like, I don't think my boys have gotten into them as much, but these are the Orphan Train Adventure books. So they're about this family that the parents die, these kids are orphaned, they are separated for a time, and you can take a look in there. That's definitely a little bit of a higher level, like maybe grade 4 or something. But these are by Joan Lowry Nixon. Just a couple books from the set. They are very much enjoyed by my daughter, at least. These books are fiction, but if you read Christian fiction at all, like adult Christian fiction, you'll know the name Karen Kingsbury, and I really enjoy her books. And she has written a series of books for kids. One of these I did read aloud to the kids, and then the other ones they have taken and just done for independent reading. They are wholesome. I would say both my boys and girls enjoy the books in these series, and they're Christian and they have good lessons throughout the stories as much as they are fiction. Another series, The Vanderbeekers. My kids love these books as well. I probably should buy a few more in the series because they enjoy these. Again, this is the same. I read one book to the kids as a read aloud, and then I bought a few more, and the kids have just been reading the other ones as independent reading time. But this is about a family with 5 kids, and there's a lot of humor in these books. Like the kids are definitely sneaky and like to play tricks on each other and their neighbors and stuff, but they're fun stories. The last series I'm going to show you is this series called My Book House. I'm sure if you bought these books new, they're probably not cheap. They're nice hardcover. I believe there are 12 in the set. This is book number 1. This is one of those random, like, my mom bought me this set one time for Christmas. I'm sure she likes to thrift, loves to thrift. So she probably found it like used for like a great deal. But she bought this set for me. think back when the kids were like really little before they got into them, but now they enjoy them. And so it starts with book 1, and this book is full of just like little nursery rhymes and very short fairy tales, lots of pictures. It goes on and the level advances with each book. And so I also brought down book 6. This one is definitely like short stories and a lot of fairy tales. Well, there's a few poems in there too. It's very different than most of the books I've recommended here because it is just short stories, and so every book has multiple stories. It's not just one story packed into one book. Those are all the books I have to show you today. Like I said, there are so many more titles we enjoy, and there are some titles, and someone asked me one time, like, how do you pick what is a read aloud book and what is a book for your kids to read on their own? And I was like, I don't know. I just kind of pick as we go. I don't really know how to answer that. Like Little House on the Prairie books, my kids have read those before for independent reading occasionally, but every 3 years or so I read the series as a read aloud book, and so they haven't really done that as independent reading. And sometimes there's just some books that I'll lean more towards that'll be good for all the kids as a whole, and so we just kind of pick and choose as we go. But these are some series that have been read over and over again, and I'm showing them to you because they haven't just been read by like one of my kids. Okay, maybe I showed you one series that one of my kids has read, but for the most part, my oldest read them all, and then my second did, and then my third did, and now my fourth is going through. And so they all, they have been enjoyed over and over again by each one of my kids. Thank you for watching. Let me know down below if there's another series you can think of that I should check out. And I hope you enjoyed seeing these titles. I'll see you guys in my next video. Happy reading!